You thought commission meant a certificate, a title, a seat at a table where important people say important things to other important people. No, commission means pressing tear. The same way the sovereign of the vineyard looks at the cluster, heavy, ripe, full of everything it was grown to carry, and says, "It is time. But first, understand whose cluster you are, because not every grape on every vine belongs to the sovereign's press. There are grapes of flesh grown by bloodline, cultivated by institution, certified by nation, by title, by the approval of men who borrowed their authority from other men, who borrowed it further back until the chain runs out at the edge of someone's ambition. That is not your vine." Romans 9 says it plainly. Not all who are of Israel are Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. The children of the promise, not the children of the flesh, two categories. One bloodline cannot contain them both. One institution cannot credential them. One nation cannot border them. The children of promise are counted for the seed. Galatians goes deeper still. Physis, the lineal constitutive nature of what you actually are. Not performance, not affiliation, not the name on your paperwork or the flag above your building. What you are by nature. And there are only two natures: flesh, which produces after its own kind, which secures, accumulates, defends, and calls that survival, and spirit, which was breathed into Adam before Adam had a resume, which belongs to Yahweh alone, which cannot be inherited through any bloodline that runs through Cairo, or Rome, or Washington. You are not an ambassador of flesh. You never were. And this is why the pressing mat as the grape of flesh does not want to be pressed, it wants to be admired, preserved, displayed. It will negotiate its commission, it will demand its comfort, it will produce on its own terms something that looks like wine, but has never been near. The sovereign's press, the child of promise, submits not because it is weak, because it knows whose hand holds the weight, because it was chosen before the foundation of the world. Ephesians 1:4, not for what it brought to the table, but for what he put inside it before time had a table to set. So when the weight comes down, and it will come down not as punishment, as purpose, you do not negotiate, you do not perform, you do not reach for the credentials of flesh to justify what Spirit has already established. You remember the vineyard. You remember the sovereign who planted you outside every border men thought they could draw. Purchased out of every kindred, every tongue, every people, every nation. Revelation 5:9. Not one group's monopoly. Not one bloodline's inheritance, not one institution's franchise. Every nation, every tongue, every kindred. The Kihalai is not a club. It is a harvest. And the pressing, seer, extracts from you not what flesh deposited, but what he placed there before Bereshit broke the silence. What comes out is not your cleverness, not your culture, not your bloodline's best contribution. What comes out is Marpi healing, the medicine of reconciliation that a broken world has been trying to manufacture with flesh since the garden closed. It cannot be manufactured. It can only be pressed. So you go. Not because you volunteered the way men volunteer for committees. Not because your bloodline earned it, not because your nation granted it, not because your institution stamped and approved it. You go because you were pressed by the sovereign of the vineyard, who owns every grape that ever grew on every vine he ever planted, who looked at you before you had a name, before you had a nation, before you had a flesh to call your own, and said, "This one child of promise, not of flesh, mine, go." And wine doesn't apologize for being wine. It doesn't explain its lineage to every cup that receives it. It pours, it heals, it carries the mark of the vine. Not the vine of men, the vine that was and is to come. So do you.